BFDIA 15 is finally out! Blocky makes a prank called ILTB, which stands for Infinite Loop of Teardrop Boiling. Instead of the usual Blocky's Funny Doings International account, we got a unique outro called the Blocky's Funny Doings Investigation Agency, another BFDIA acronym. Pen receives a battery pack to lengthen her lifespan. She doesn't need those extension cables anymore. Ruby finds a chameleon which changes colors whenever Ruby's sisters are present. Needle finds a Goiki butterfly, but this individual is only in its caterpillar stage. Pencil encases it in a drop of water. But now it's time for Cake and Steak as Blocky's about to kill Cake with Nayli. Last time, Book and Ruby were up for elimination. Before the episode release, it was predicted that Book would win the prize with 70,991 likes, with Ruby being eliminated at 31,049 dislikes. So let's get to it. This is chronologically the first time that two contestants are up for elimination. The cake this time is a teardrop cake, made out of the past tears that everyone has been crying over being eliminated for the past 2 years. This time we got a total of 151,540 votes. And just like in episode 5A, there were messages on why people like and dislike characters. Book wins! This is actually quite unexpected. I honestly wanted Book to be eliminated. This is actually taking a while because the scooper has to eliminate all of Ruby's sisters. Needle brings Bubble back, but Bubble calls her needy. Of all the prize options available, the prize wheel lands on the weirdest option. Now it's time for the 14th contest. Of all the contest options available, the most claustrophobic option is chosen. Today's contest is Enter the Birdhouse. Located in the middle of the Coliseum is the Birdhouse of Greater Goiki. Because it's the final 9, teams are divided into 3 teams of 3. So here are 3 teams. And a shocking twist, Balloony rearranges the teams. Barfbag has made the rules so that it's a second BFDIA 12. One team is safe, and the other 2 are up for elimination. Fries tries to go inside. Corny scrambles and bends Fries into a small shape. This disgusts Pencil. Moving on to the quasi rhomboicosahedrons, Needle is confused. Tennis Ball measures every angle, width, and measurement of the birdhouse entrance. It talks to Free Smart. The stars are in a bit of unrest. Tennis Ball randomly deflates for a few seconds. Book has disproven the fact that you shrink when no one's thinking about you. The quasi rhomboicosahedrons go up the islands. Bombi takes a gun and they slide down the pole. Tennis Ball crushes Fries to a small size, but Fries recovers when Tennis Ball wants to crush Pencil next. Fries shrinks Tennis Ball's shrink gun. This is the same gun that Ruby used on Pen. Bombi is only half shrunk. Fries overpowers it on Pencil. Pen and Book argue about stealing the shrink ray. The argument comes to a sudden close when they agree with Nickel on stealing it from Coiny. Nickel asks to borrow the gun from Fries, but gets cube-holed. A huge fight breaks out, but in the end, the birdhouse gets shrunk. Nickel gets a shrink ray from the 2-day-old tree, but gets knocked off by an incoming amethyst. Nickel falls within the tree, but gets shrunk by the shrink ray when it impacts the ground. Nickel puts out an arrow to his board, but is spoiled by Tennis Ball. The board falls onto the ground, but catches fire for no reason. The board then explodes. Just like the funny plant from Teapot 5, Bombi goes into a vent which leads to the underground factory. Tennis Ball attempted to combine the caterpillar with Nickel. This event was seen in the Wednesday promo. The Hearts end up chasing Tennis Ball. Nickel and Bombi use a Shrinkatron on themselves, but it's past the middle of the episode, so they haven't won yet. The recommended characters appear while Fries is spinning. After encouragement from the rest of the cast, Fries throws the birdhouse onto the tree. Coiny ties Bombi. Needle uses a Shrinkatron on herself again. Tennis Ball reverse engineers the Shrinkatron to make an opposite, which makes things bigger. Tennis Ball tries to use it on the birdhouse, but Fries redirects it to Bombi. Bombi dodges it, and the bullet hits Ivory. Pencil activates the compassion unit of Pen, but it is later retracted and replaced with a bunch of knives. Pencil uses it to sharpen herself. Pencil uses it to escape. Pen hides inside Book, but Pencil forces her open. Book falls into chaos as Pencil chases Pen. Many important events are destroyed, but one of the Patriots inhabitants gives Book determination. Book tries to enter the birdhouse, but is knocked off by Vericide. All the ink falls off as Book swims through the drop. Fries is unimpressed by the paint of the birdhouse and blows it onto the drop. Needle looks for the shrink ray, but is bashed by dust. Needle uses a shrink ray on a tennis ball, but is reversed by Fries. Book uses a shrink ray on the birdhouse. The birdhouse is shrunk again and falls into the drop. Fries tries to use the growth ray on the birdhouse, but accidentally grows a monster instead. The monster destroys Bombi. Coiny shrinks Fries and himself. A few minutes later, there is a loop of lead and recovery. After Tennis Ball recovered Bombi, that is. There is then a loop of shrinkage as everyone goes microscopic. More loops happen until everyone goes atomic. Coiny removes her proton, turning lead into thallium. Exposure to elevated levels of thallium include headaches, nausea, vomiting, fatigue, and hair loss. Coiny turns it into Mercury. Mercury is known for its dangers, so Coiny turns it into gold. Pencil shrinks Pen. Now she's in protonic level. Pain rages again, but it's too late. The Hearts win the challenge, meaning the Stars and the quasi rhomboicosahedrons are up for elimination. The Hearts are excited to see what's inside the birdhouse, but it turns out to be messy from the inside.